Hey, it is Monday, October 23rd, I believe. 24th, there you go, okay. 24th, 2022. And I'd like to bring to order the Douglas Board of Health meeting. First on the agenda, we have to welcome our new board members here. This is wonderful. If you introduce yourself, I'd appreciate it, because I don't really know your name.
That's okay, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Mary Ellen Brisboe.
Mary Ellen?
Yes.
Very good. And
Dave Baldy.
David? Very good. I met you last week. Looks like we're gonna have some good people on the board here. That's great. Thank you very much, too, for volunteering your time. Okay, next on the agenda, we have FEP, as you, okay, this is the,
It's a public health emergency preparedness.
right, glad you said that.
Yep. And it's a meeting we attend once a month,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, so basically, we have to have representatives to attend these meetings, and I think we can agree on the fact that we have Agnieszka and Kristen here that would be attending those meetings for us. They've done in the past, and they've done a wonderful job, and we'd like to have
can vote on it, I guess,
yeah, we
yeah.
have to vote on it, right. So, anybody, Dick, help us out here? We're voting on,
Oh, you'd like a motion?
yes,
And you want a motion for Agnieszka and Kristen?
Yes.
To attend
Yes.
To represent
to represent,
Douglas. Yeah,
I'm glad I'm making this motion.
the Board of
Maybe,
Health.
maybe we should have Kristen make the motion and I could just say that one.
well, no,
Here, let me have them read this.
yeah,
I make a motion that we have Kristen and Agnieszka.
yeah.
Aha. So Agnieszka's public health nurse served as a primary representative for the town of Douglas, and Kristen Harris, administrative supervisor, will serve as the alternate representative.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you read. Thank you, Kristen.
Okay, so do we have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then the motion passes.
Yep.
We're in slow motion, if I feel like today.
Monday.
Yeah.
Just as a point of reference, do you two understand what happens if there's no second?
Can't vote on it unless you have a
Can't
second.
vote on
Right.
it. Okay.
So point for discussion, well, I guess question first.
Mhm.
When are those meetings? I'm just curious.
First Thursday of the month at 9 a.m.
Okay. So I'm hoping that I might be able to provide you some information or
Mhm.
questions, supply questions to, I won't be able to attend those meetings, which is what I figured. But hopefully, with some of my experience with working on the FEP grant for 15 years, I can
Oh, that would
supply
be
you,
great, yeah.
supply
yeah,
you with those
absolutely.
questions to ask or information points to bring up at those meetings, so.
That would be.
Yeah.
That's great,
Yeah,
yes.
Where are the meetings held?
All over. Sometimes they're Zoom. The last one was in Phillipston at the
Orchard and Phillips.
Apple Orchard. They do that usually in
I
October.
bring you over an ice bag?
Yeah, but we have to be there for 9.
Sometimes in Worcester, Millbury.
Change locations every month, depends on the season and weather and
It's
COVID
just about an
situation.
hour
Okay.
meeting.
2 hours to get there and an hour meeting.
For that particular one.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have a training, they add some training, sometimes maybe a
Yeah.
little bit long, like 2 hours.
We've been well represented, so,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But this is even better.
Yeah, yeah, this is good,
Yes.
because it's very
This is better.
important.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on, we have transfer station. Famous transfer station.
So the first thing will be the waistband.
Okay.
So in the waistband, it was mentioned that we're gonna hold, once a year, we need yearly or annual trainings for the employees.
Right.
Just to make sure that they know what's recyclable, what's not.
Okay, so we're relying on the signs, correct?
The signs are coming,
Signs,
but we need to
Education.
do training also.
Right.
And the question is, the statement is, that we will conduct annual waistband training to staff. So to me, the question is, who is staff? Certainly the transfer station personnel.
They're talking about, I would think they're talking about transfer station staff.
Yes, I agree with that, but I think Kristen, Julie, I think the Board of Health members are also staff. It's just my interpretation. And at least it would have us all humming off the same sheet of music, because there are some subtleties involved.
So what are you recommending?
That we all attend, probably a 1-hour session,
Attend where?
right here.
Here?
Yeah.
Who holds the session? We hold the session?
We hold a session, I would volunteer to be your trainer.
I don't know if we really need to do that, do we? Do we have to have a training session? I mean, these guys know what they,
they do. They need it. They definitely need it.
oh, they need it?
Yeah, because it's written that you have to have some type of training.
The word in there is will.
Will conduct annual waistband training to staff.
Okay. I would think that.
They need it, but we all need it.
Okay, well, if,
So I'm trying to get the Board of Health members to be there in addition to the transfer station personnel. And that's the discussion, we can say yes or no.
for an hour we have to do this?
Yeah, it really won't hurt you, Bob.
It's not so much that it hurt me or not hurt. I'm saying, is there that much information that we have to?
Probably not. Probably not. I always like to schedule.
I don't,
along and
it's
touch
not
it.
that I mind attending,
Right.
okay? It's just for an hour, that's a long period of time when we're talking waistband, I would think, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, remember the exercise we went through when we were in that room one day? We were
Yeah.
sorting out what is recycled, what's trash, and what is
Right.
I don't know?
Right,
And the I don't knows is where you take up the time discussing it, typically.
okay.
So the question is, are we staff or not? By their definition.
I would think not, because it says like staff will look for, the staff's gonna look at the vehicles, the staff's gonna decide whether they're gonna dump there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
Staff will look at band
I guess we all, we'll all do it. That's it. We'll all be a part of it.
Any discussion over it?
I think probably the vast majority of it should be pretty straightforward. Like you said, there might be some things that are a little bit in the gray area, but,
Really gray area.
Yeah.
Paint's one of them.
yeah. Tell them they have to throw in the, congealing powder in. Warm it up.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah.
As long as it's not lead-based.
Okay. Well, there's no voting on this. This is a,
Well, I think we ought to decide whether we are going or not, and if we are going,
going, when you say going,
sitting here,
oh,
going through this
okay,
stuff.
so whether we're going to do it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we have to do it, right?
Kristen
We have
doesn't
to
think
con-
so.
Well, we have to conduct it. We have to
Right.
train the staff.
Someone has to train from.
Okay,
So
well,
that the
Dick, you
so-
can be the, I mean, that's fine with me if you want to volunteer to be the trainer.
I'll
That's
volunteer.
great.
No, just questions like everybody,
Right.
everybody needs to be
Yeah.
trained because like Kristen said, detection. When they talk about staff here, they talk about staff will inspect vehicles,
Mhm. Mhm.
to dumping. So,
Right.
you know, like, Kristen won't be inspecting the vehicles. This is
Right.
people who are physically at the station.
Well, once,
Also.
my thinking also is, once the transfer station understand who's on the Board of Health, if
Mhm.
you're up there, they're gonna ask you questions.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
you-
absolutely,
And you
yeah.
might as well have an answer that they've heard before.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, you've more or less been leading the attack anyway with the signs and everything else. So, and it's not that you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, it seems like a long period of time to deliver a minimum amount of,
Well, I don't think we'll do it in 5 minutes,
no,
and you're saying an hour is too long, so we're somewhere in that
Okay,
timeframe, so maybe
okay.
45 minutes instead of an hour. I'd rather schedule an hour and do 45 than the other
oh
way
yeah,
around.
that's fine. You can schedule 2 hours if you want.
Well, Kristen's going to schedule
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever's,
a time when it's convenient for all of us.
yeah.
yeah.
And we're gonna pay the staff at the transfer station to attend?
I have to. Unless you hold it up there to them.
Right.
That's what I'm
That's
thinking.
what
I was thinking,
Mm.
That's what I was
There.
thinking too.
my thought was,
And
there's
then
two
we
different
get a
groups.
sense
of-
You go up one day,
Train them.
well, maybe you should train them all together though.
I think it should be all together.
So maybe on a Tuesday, see if they all can meet there on a Tuesday morning or
Where?
something. At the transfer station and just go over it with
I know,
them.
But I'm asking where in the transfer station? At
I
this
don't think
time
it's
of
gonna
year
take
is
that
high
long.
risk. It could be rain, it could be snow, it could be
Well,
sunshine.
you can always postpone it. I mean, if it's gonna be a good day, you could do it next week even, or this week. That way,
And if we do it up there during transfer station time, they're going to be interrupted. I mean, the customers come in and they will be interrupted.
Tuesdays, crazy, or
I would think that
Thursdays.
we want to do it on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. When they're not.
And not Thursdays.
And I would think we would pay.
Sunday is not,
We will pay them an hour. That's what I would do.
Oh, they need to be trained.
They do-
They
they-
should
they-
be
they
the
have
first
to
to
be
be
trained,
trained.
yes,
Right.
yeah.
Because they are dealing with people and they are answering the
Yes,
questions
yeah.
and they are watching
So do
people.
it on
So
a
they know what-
Wednesday, they probably.
Right.
And if it's gonna be 30 or 45 minutes, then they probably do need to sit in somewhere
Yeah, you know
so
what,
they can pay
right.
attention, so.
Yeah.
You know, they need to know what they are doing and know the requirements, so they should be the first group to be trained.
So maybe meet them here, like in the morning, like on a Wednesday morning or something.
You set it up and I'll be here.
You know, let me,
I can't
we
speak for
can book the
everybody.
room, even this room, to
Yeah.
see if we can book the room for them and for an hour.
Is there a standardized training that has been issued from somewhere, or is it
You know,
pretty
What I
much just
did
going
is I
through?
get 2 boxes of stuff.
Yeah,
And I say,
Hands
okay,
on.
team 1 stuff, team 2 stuff, you decide.
yeah,
Trash, recycle, or I don't know.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of I don't knows.
It's, and more or less, knowing the waistband. They have to read this, and
Right.
there's a list of things that belong there, and a list of things that don't,
Right.
or where they belong.
The one that just
more
got me-
important, I mean, not more important, I shouldn't say more importantly. I should say maybe as important. Beside, you know, maybe as part of that meeting, and, you know, we can probably tackle some other issues there, because I guess what I'm getting at is this. You know, Dick, as well as I do, that they have a tendency to gather at the little hut up there. And we've got to make them understand that they can't have 3 guys up here.
Right.
Can't do that. We need people down below. We need to watch what's going into the containers. It's been, you know, like I say, you go up there often, you see,
Yeah.
and I mention it to them. You know, I try to be nice about it, but it's a problem, and we've got to make sure so that could be part of the training
Additional
too.
Training, right.
You know, we can
That's
put it in a
fine.
nice way.
In the big plastic container, I can't put bubble wrap,
No, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what I found in there the
Well,
other
that's what
day,
I'm
a
saying.
bag full of bubble wrap.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we've got to watch it there, right there, at that point.
like
You
a
know.
typical staff meeting, you know, it
Yeah.
should be held on a regular basis.
So maybe there is more time to, to do something with this.
Maybe we should come up with a training first.
Yeah, so, you're gonna have to write like,
It's just an
Yeah.
outline of here are the topics that
Right,
we
I mean,
want to
yeah.
do, and
Things that you've seen up there, like.
They would like that, wouldn't they?
maybe.
Maybe.
Sure.
All right, you'll have an outline.
yeah,
So we'll
Yeah.
figure out what we wanna,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
We can work on that.
Yeah, staff meeting and training at
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
And it looks like that there are things that needs to be said to
Right.
all of them.
yes, yeah, right. So, I'm just wondering, do we vote on this? Do we make a motion here?
I don't think it's
Yeah.
necessary, but we can if you wish.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it's necessary.
no, probably isn't.
Do you agree with that?
I would, yeah. I mean, it says shall, so
Mm,
for
Right.
staff, and we're
Yep.
sort of,
Yeah.
I think we're all at least under the impression that we should be knowledgeable in and of it as well. So I think that we should, is there a certain date that is a deadline, or we just have to do it once?
I would do it as
per
soon as
year?
possible, yeah.
Okay.
Sooner than later.
So I would recommend that we come up with like the outline for the training and have, figure out like what, what are the topics and we're gonna cover, A, B, C, D, E. Then we can schedule the training,
Yeah.
30, 45 minutes-ish, and
mhm. So yes, we should have a motion?
Put 'em on our back road.
I know.
Yes, we should have a motion, or?
I think it already
I
says
think it
we.
says that way. I
Okay,
think so too.
okay.
And then just maybe the outline, just to say that
Right.
that's
Okay.
approved
Yep.
when that comes through.
Yep.
I
Very
think
good.
that works.
The
Okay.
interesting one about the next topic, mattresses and textiles.
Interesting,
Oh.
interesting.
Saying they'll leave them all down on Coffee House
Sneakers
Road.
are textiles. And I'm saying,
Sneakers are
you've got to
textile.
be kidding.
Really?
Sandals, that's nice.
Oh,
Okay, well, as far as mattresses are concerned, I stopped, I think I mentioned it at the last meeting, I stopped over at Berkowitz, and I spoke to one of their people behind the counter, and I wanted to speak to Tom himself, but he wasn't available, so I spoke to this person. She said she does all the, she makes the major decisions, so I guess I was speaking to the right person. But she said that $40 a mattress would be fine. Now, I stopped over there again last week, this past week, and I was interested in what they would charge for smaller mattress, like a
Twin size.
twin size, or even a crib
Yep.
type mattress. And there was somebody else there who didn't know a thing about this mattress thing. So I'm gonna hit that place again this week, and we'll get a determination on that. But a regular mattress, queen size, say, $40. That's what they want, $40. And that's reasonable from speaking with, I did speak with, who's the company in Sutton? There's Al's, is it Al's? Al's Rubbish Removal, I think?
There is an Al's, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was speaking to one of his people, and he said, "Oh, we don't take them for anything less than $60." So, where Berkowitz is right next door to us.
Does this include the spring bags or just the
I think it's
mattress?
40 for the
Yeah.
box spring too.
Yeah,
For the set?
it's
Yep.
40. Yeah,
No, 40
40
each.
40 each.
Yeah,
And the question I have is, do they bring the mattress to him, or does he pick it up?
No,
No, they
bring it.
don't pick it up. You
No
have to bring
pickup.
it. Yeah, you have to bring it to them. Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be-
I
This
know,
is a mattress
I
on
know.
the side of the road.
I know.
Mhm.
That's all I
Well,
can think of, that
mattresses
back road.
and
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
yeah, mattresses and everything else. Any bulky items are going to be on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know how much Webster charges? Like,
No.
There is a just They said a fee, well, right now, I think it was cheap, it was like $25.
25.
But I didn't write the fee,
Yes,
how much it
because
is,
it
'cause,
still is
yeah.
changing, yeah, they're still adjusting.
Yeah,
And
see,
it's not new
that's,
to everyone.
Yeah.
you know, you're right, everybody has had to make major adjustments in everything, pretty much. So, I think they said they would stand behind the $40 for, I don't know how long, but hopefully the economy changes, but,
How much was Webster?
I think it's about 25, but I don't know if that's gonna go up.
I'm sure it will go up.
And they bring them there. So, do you know anything about the mattresses, the waistband and all that?
I don't.
So the state decided new things are gonna be recycled now instead of, putting them in the trash,
Mhm.
mattresses being one. We used to take mattresses and we could put them off in the trash for $10 a piece. Now you have to, if you want to take the mattresses in to be recycled, they can't be wet, they can't be moldy, they can't,
You have to keep them dry
you have
place.
to keep them dry, so you have to get a bin that you actually stack them in.
Oh, boy.
And then you have to find someone to, there's only, I think, a handful of places that actually do the recycling,
Yeah.
and then get them there.
Have you ever
So you're
tried to
looking-
handle a mattress?
Very often.
King size,
Yeah.
old
It's not
mattress.
fun.
It's
And the
not.
question is, who's going to put them in the box?
Right.
So it's been a bit.
So you're looking at like someone to.
So we're not gonna
You're not
do
gonna
that,
do it.
right.
It makes perfect
We
sense.
So
have to
I'm just-
provide something for
we
the
need
residents.
options.
Understand.
So we
Yeah.
found Berkowitz,
Yeah.
Webster Transfer Station,
Mhm.
and then there is a charity that they can call that may pick them up, right?
Yeah, they said
And it should be free.
Yeah.
Again, they have to be in good condition.
they would
Which
pick
is
them
not
up.
always the
They may
charity,
pick them up, it depends, you have to call them.
yeah.
For free?
Yeah.
Yes, but they have to be in good shape,
Yeah.
no stains, no like,
Yeah, but,
still good to be used.
wow.
That's a good agency, though. I worked with them before.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So that was our option
Couple
for that.
options.
So that starts November 1st, as well as textiles, but we do have a textile bin at
I
the
was just
transfer
gonna ask.
station. We've had that for a long time.
Is that that small white one
Yes.
on the corner?
Yes.
I would venture a guess, is there a larger size one? Because I
Now
bet you
that
that's
this-
gonna jump.
I think
Yeah.
there's some confusion there, though, about that container, because Dick up at the transfer station mentioned that they want only clothes to go in there.
The paperwork I have from them, which they haven't updated it for me,
Yeah.
shoes, comforters, curtains,
Oh, really? Okay.
socks,
Well,
anything like that.
yeah.
Just no books.
Right, right.
But yes, I can call them and see if there's a bigger one.
Might be
Yeah.
a good idea, 'cause I can guess that the amount of textiles is gonna
Because we
jump
hardly,
considerably.
anybody throws anything in there. No. So, but yes, they probably will now.
Yeah. You'll find people trying to stuff a mattress in there next.
Good point.
You never know.
But it says that textile can go to the trash if they are wet, moldy, or contaminated.
Mhm.
So clean stuff goes to the bin.
Yeah.
Right.
And the way I read this sheet of paper is if your mattress is wet, moldy, or contaminated, you can throw it in the trash.
What are you looking at? Oh, the textiles?
Yes, this paragraph right next to the end.
You can throw it in the trash.
So therefore, what you do is you leave your mattress outdoors and get it wet, and then throw it in the trash in Douglas Transfer Station.
Where are you reading that? Textiles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Consider it
Yeah, not
mattress
mattresses, not
textile?
mattress, no,
No,
Doesn't mean,
No.
not
yeah,
mattress.
I
No.
don't think so.
doesn't mention mattresses. Just-
no, I agree. It would be good if the
What are
guys
you
at the,
testing us?
it would be good if the guys at the transfer station understood that and enforced it.
Yeah.
That should be on your list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lot of subtleties going on here.
It'll be hard to try to smuggle in a mattress, though, that's the,
That's why they need a good
that's the
training.
good thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not if you're in a little house.
Did we already get down to there?
Yes, well, if they are wet and moldy, then you can throw them in the trash.
Right.
See you next there's only those donation containers by the school, by the post office, like for clothing too.
Yeah, but that's
Mhm.
not, that's different, that's Goodwill.
Yes. I'm always dropping stuff at school.
Yeah, I mean, that's stuff that,
But you know,
the way I believe it is textiles are something that you're going to make into rags or something
that's what it
else.
says.
Where
Yes.
the clothes that you drop off by the church and stuff, are someone's gonna use them.
so this has to be like
That's a
good,
difference.
good
Right, better,
quality.
like
good
good quality.
still.
But this can be
yeah.
stained, it
Yes.
can be holes, they can be
Yeah, towels. They
one
say
sock,
old towels.
yeah,
so-
old towels.
Yes. I understand.
Okay, moving on, we have Tire Day also. It's usually a big
Starting tomorrow.
Well, it's really tire 2 weeks.
Tire
Oh,
2
it really
weeks.
is.
We just call it tire day.
Yeah. Tire 2 weeks
6
day.
days. Tires.
So, as you can see, these are the rates that we set here. Any issues with that?
Same as last year,
No, a
Oh, they
little
went up.
different,
They went up,
yeah.
of course.
yeah.
Not by a whole lot, though. Not by a whole lot,
No, I think it was $5 last year for
yeah.
passenger tires, only 8.
And, you know, if we keep it reasonable, again, we're looking at less tires on the side of the road, so.
This one, 420.
Oh, loader tires.
Oh, those are,
Those are
yeah.
big tires.
Those are the
Yeah.
huge, huge ones.
You have like 4 of those.
I know. That's not good. No.
That's when they end up,
Yeah, I don't think we did one of those.
rolling down the hill.
So any comments on that? Everybody feels good about that? You know, when I get more than 3 papers in front of me,
Sorry. We won't go
it's
far.
not pretty. Okay, so we have tonnage,
Yep.
and we should probably make our new people here, maybe educate them on this kind of
That'd be
table
great,
here
yeah.
that we have.
So, oh, do it again.
I can't even see. I don't have my
Oh.
glasses. I came charging out of the house, so.
A and B in the compact.
Here you go.
A and B in the compactor.
Yes.
A and B, and we like to see them 10 or better as a number. And that just means the compressed stuff that's inside it.
Or at least somewhere around 10
Yeah.
and over,
There
yeah.
are 2 on here that are 9,
Right,
and there are several of them that are 11. so
Yeah.
there's-
right.
It evens out.
It does, yeah.
And they're constantly making the decision, do I have enough capacity to get through the weekend? So on Thursday, they're looking at it and saying, okay, can we get there, or do we have to have something come in here? And it's the same on all of them. And so sometimes things will be more full than other times.
Yeah.
Seems they're pretty consistent, because all of those numbers are
Yeah.
right close to 10.
Mhm.
So the holidays may go up a little bit.
I think
Yeah, we went through
July.
a spell.
July?
Is for some reason.
We
What's
went
that?
through a
This
spell
is
several
cookouts
months
and-
ago where they were all over the place. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets difficult around holidays and that type of thing because they're not, you know, you really don't know what you're gonna get. And also, we have to flip days around on occasion, like Thanksgiving coming up, we're gonna have to do. But they're pretty good at that. They schedule it, they do a good job up there. I don't mean to knock them down because they really do a good job.
They do.
Yeah.
You know, I think the only thing that I was concerned about is watching down below. You know, they like to kind of gather up top. But they're great guys and they do a good job and we're very satisfied, so.
But you know, it makes sense what you said, especially with new regulations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The meeting has to be done, and it's, you know, also to their benefits.
right.
So they know what they are doing and have
Yeah.
answers for people.
Yeah.
How many
And
people work there at the transfer station?
Kristen, how many do we have?
Five.
total? 5?
But
There's
they
two-
rotate, right?
They alternate, so
Yeah,
2
alternate.
work, 1 Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then there's a third that comes in every
Mm.
Saturday with them.
Yeah.
And then the next two come in for the next week.
Oh,
And that same
interesting.
person works Saturday with them, so. Yeah.
And we have an alternate as well.
We're an
right?
alternate as well.
Yeah. So that works out well. If you want to, if you're ever up there, you want to introduce yourself as board members, you know, that would be good.
What do we call those big containers that we put the cardboard and the glass?
The 30-yarders, bulky?
What do we call the container? Does it have a name other than container?
No. Like,
Isn't it the 30 yard?
well, the 30-yard is like an extra bulky type thing, or extra,
Yeah, we're not talking that. We're talking where they put cardboard, paper.
just recyclable bins.
Are you looking for space names like C, D, E? Is that
Oh,
what
that's
you're
what you're looking for?
Recycled bin is fine.
Okay.
Um,
I was just looking.
Like the paper, you're looking at the top here? No, these are-
No,
Oh,
no. I'm
Just-
making an outline for the course.
oh, recyclable containers.
Nothing, nothing puts
They're
the
labeled,
paper
aren't they,
in.
up there? They're
With
labeled.
the paper, cardboard, and plastic, yeah.
Okay.
And the, each of the X's on here represents a trip out. And a trip out, what's it, $180 now?
I believe it's $180 now.
Yeah.
Trip out is on?
190, 100.
Yeah, if they come in for
It just
any
went up.
container, it's $180.
Is that something new in the contract? No?
It went up.
That's what I mean.
I'm trying to think what
Yeah,
the price,
it
it went
was
up for this year.
160.
Yeah, oh, it was 160, yeah, yeah.
And then where does it go? Where do you take it to?
Ah, it goes to Hudson,
Oh,
Well,
and it also goes to Blackstone
yeah.
Valley. And I followed them to Hudson one day. I'll never do that again.
Why, we were gonna just have you do that
They must
again.
be doing 100 miles an hour, and here I am trying to keep up with it.
oh, wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, they move.
And then Blackstone is in a residential area, and you go down, make a right, make a left, make a right, make a left, and pretty soon you're there.
Blackstone takes those
And they just,
samples.
and they take our recycle bins and just dump it on the ground.
Really?
And then Blackstone comes in and picks it up with a,
An unloader.
what the heck is a little bucket scoop thing?
Oh, skid steer.
Yeah,
Skid
skid
steer.
steer, yeah.
Yeah, and moves it around to different places. I
My
guess
son
they,
can tell you each and every single one of them.
yeah, I guess they're looking at what's in there also to make sure.
It's a good thing we don't have haulers that haul out of state. You'd be all over the place.
Yeah, that's right.
You do it
Need
once,
some
and that's
gas.
all you want to do.
Okay. So we have tonnage, we have Board of Health nurse,
Oh,
Agnieszka.
okay.
She does a fine job for us.
Thank you.
We still have tests, COVID-19 tests available, and they will be expiring in January. So we hate to see them expire. And some of them we got for free from the state,
Mhm.
and some of them were purchased with some funds from the town. So we are trying to push them to people.
How many do you have?
You know what, I don't have them, this is, town manager has them, so he gives me whatever I ask for,
Mm-hmm.
like the boxes. But he knows exact the number, because he distributes them between all the departments, like I think school and senior center, fire department. But we just trying to help him. So last week, we have delivered bags of them, like to the library.
Mhm.
We also delivered the bags to Riddlebrook apartments, food pantry, and we also, not yet. I have it in my car, but I didn't have the label-free tests on the bags, so I have to. But there's a new, like a program in the town, like on the North Street, the building.
for
It's a
like a
yes,
rehab,
rehab recovery
Oh.
center
Yeah.
Mhm.
for people with addictions. I went there and I introduced myself, and these people live there. This is live-in
Mhm.
program. So I did deliver bags to them, and they were really happy. I spoke to the lady there, and also I told all those people, like, if you need more, let us know. Just
Mhm.
call us. We have more, but we don't want to give them more than a box at a time. And also the people from the I always feel bad for people with those recovery centers because I know usually they are always short on everything. There is not much money going in that department, so we have like extra sanitizers which we got for free, like big bottles. We have wipes, like alcohol wipes. So I even offered if they would be interested, we can share some with them. Even Band-Aids, we have like boxes of Band-Aids, and we don't have, like we're not planning clinic right now, like any vaccination clinic.
Mhm.
And so they were really happy to hear that we can share that stuff with them. So I'm planning to drop off.
Yeah, well, you had mentioned something about having another vaccination.
You know, we did have a vaccination clinic in September, like we talked last meeting, but like we don't have to even do it ourselves because we can just request from the state, and the state has the vendors they will send, they will take care of everything. So honestly, like we have no resources to do it ourselves. Like if we had no choice, yes, we would do it. But if we have other choices, why not? Since they take care of everything, and it was advertised at schools, all the departments, senior centers. Even senior center was pouring on their Facebook page. We had, if I remember correctly, like 11 people coming. No new doses, even though the little kids were, yes, they could get the vaccines. So just they said it was like 2 second doses and like several boosters. So really low interest.
Was it early? It was early September or late August?
Mid-September.
Mid-September?
Yes, mid-September. Because I waited for the kids to start the
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Because summer people don't think, they're still in
exactly.
vacation mode.
Yeah.
So let's wait till mid-September. So they didn't come back for the second dose because there was no second doses from the first clinic. Now we can always request, but so many people offer the vaccine, like even surrounding towns that many people go. Like those who really want to take it, they will find a place because they're easy, accessible. And that was a new vaccine, already the updated one. So we advertised that this is the new one which we're waiting for. And still, like people, I think those who were planning to take, they took it already.
Yeah.
I mean, on their own, went and found places. So if there is a interest, we can organize another one, but
Yep,
I don't see like a need right now.
okay. You're the boss there.
No, I'm not. You are my boss.
Oh, no, I'm nobody's boss.
So I absolutely agree with that assessment. I would like to say that in the future, so maybe like next year or something like that, and when we get to a place where we get the EDS plan in a better spot, I think we should use flu or a COVID vaccine and use the EDS floor plan and try to do a setup. And even if the state is doing the vaccinators part, us doing the setup of the EDS site and using that model, first of all, will give people sort of an understanding of this is what it's going to look like if this is a real emergency. So that's a good thing to do, but also give the town experience on who's going to set up what, who's responsible for what is this plan, I'm not even familiar with it. I know this is a long time away, but if we're working towards a goal of maybe next year, we try to do something like that. We get the plan in place, we start getting some people lined up, we start getting buy-in, we start doing training, we get to a place where we might not necessarily need to do it ourselves, but we have more confidence that we could do it if we need to do it.
Well, we had the flu clinic here in this building
Yeah.
a couple years ago when the state was providing free vaccines.
Right.
Because we were doing here and it went well. Like we set up everything, and because our ADS site is a high school.
Right.
It's a big
Right.
building, and this is like for big events.
Absolutely.
But like small vaccination flu clinic, this building in the evening worked perfectly. People were coming. There's 2 exits. People were coming to one door, leaving to the other. There was no traffic jam. It was really.
So are you familiar with the EDS plan? Do you know what that is? Yeah, I know you guys do. So in Rhode Island, we call it PODS, points of dispensing. In Mass, you're one of the few states that calls it something different. That's fine. It's
Emergency dispensing.
emergency dispensing site, yep. So the real quick version of the story is after 9/11, the anthrax letter attacks, the CDC wanted everybody in the country to have plans to dispense medication in the event of a public health emergency. So for that type of thing, they're always thinking about the worst case scenario in terms of time and also people, how many you have to push through these sites. So obviously this facility wouldn't be great to push through 7,000 people in 48 hours for anthrax dispensing, but the high school would be.
That's
So,
what-
yeah, so even if it's not like, okay, we don't really need the high school for the flu clinic, because it just doesn't, you don't need that much space, just the setup, and then you could always shrink it down a little bit. This is what we used to do in Rhode Island all the time, and all the, well, not all, but many of the municipalities are sort of used to, okay, well, we do our flu clinics here, we do our COVID vaccine clinics here, we do our whatever here, and the public sort of gains that sort of like knowledge of, this is what the process is, this is where I'm gonna register, this is where I'm gonna do this is where I'm gonna do that, and so that if it is an emergency, they can just think back to that and go, oh, I remember what we do, you know, this, you know, and we know where to go and all that stuff, so I'm a huge, that's where I started on that program, so I'm a huge supporter of that program, so I'd love to develop that
I'm
more.
really happy to have you on board.
Yes, because you know what, honestly, like
Because
when we
we
had
are-
drills was Kristen and me setting up everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like some towns have like sort. What's that? There is a group of people who are also involved with the emergency
Certs.
cert.
Yeah.
And they have like a trailer behind the fire. But you know, like we
Yeah.
asked who is it, but no one replied to us, so we don't know if we have any
Yeah,
active.
it's tough,
group
especially when you have a
with
small
this
population, and I mean, even just to extent larger populations like Providence and that sort of thing, it's difficult to get people to commit to being on a CERT team or this, that, and the other, but, you know, in that real worst-case scenario, the people who work in town, at the various departments, they need to know what the plan is gonna be also, and so maybe they're not setting everything up, but if we do, you know, training, and again, this is, you know, I'm not under the impression we're gonna solve this problem overnight, but if we start working towards that, we can start training sessions for staff at the town hall, we can start, you know, getting police, fire,
Yes,
EMS
that's
trained.
my question, because when I before COVID, I met with the chiefs of police and fire and, you know, and talking about EDS, and they said, oh, we have our own plans. So I'm not aware of them.
Yeah.
Right, you
So
need to
how-
know.
Yeah.
how
Yeah, there needs to be a
we work
town
together.
plan,
Yes,
not
right.
well,
That's
we have
right.
one and we have one, and,
Right,
And
so
it's
Thing
what we
about-
are missing.
Thing about it, you had mentioned a small population, but the problem with small populations is that they're spread out.
right.
For sure.
And that becomes difficult just to, you know, to educate all the people
Sure.
in that town.
Right,
The focus tends to be, you know, right in the center of town.
right.
I don't know how you deal with that. Do you have any idea? or-
So, yeah, I mean, the one thing, so everybody comes to town hall to vote, correct?
Mhm.
Again, I'm not suggesting we do this for this year or anything like that, but
Let me just change the phrase. The ones who come to
the ones
vote.
who come to, those who come to vote will come to one
Yeah.
polling station, right?
Right.
They all sort of generally know what to do, right, where to go and how to do that, right? So the same principle, so you mentioned that there's people all over town, that's how, by sort of the muscle memory of going to the site to where they're gonna get, you know, their vaccine or something like that. So towns in Rhode Island would use their pod floor plan for other events they might be having. So for example, Providence would do like a community day where they would have like different departments sort of have a table and do their thing, but they made the people come through in the pod EDS floor plan. So it's always about getting the population sort of used to what it's going to look like, or at least the generalities of that. One of the other things we did too is we had standardized signage that all the municipalities had. So even if you were from a different town and you saw in this town, I know that signage, I know what it looks like, I know what that means, I know where to go and that sort of thing. And it was a process. So it's not something that.
Even more so, the people who will be overseeing the site needs to be trained, you
Right,
know, like, know what to
exactly.
do, because
Right, where does the
rest
signs
people,
go?
yes.
What are the areas
Mhm.
that we need? All of that, yeah,
No,
it's,
we could do like a drill, you
Absolutely.
know, one time maybe.
Oh, I know,
I think
we
we
could-
have
the
to
high school,
anyways. We
yes.
have to.
So
I
we
think
can
what we
set
could
up
do
in
is
the,
we
we can
could
set
all-
up in the high school.
We could all meet at the transfer station
There's something like our EDS.
with our mattresses, yeah.
I mean, that makes more sense to do the drills there.
drill,
because-
like, for a big event, because
Right.
here we know, we did it.
And we
it's
know
simple.
that things can happen now. We know it's
Well,
a
you think
reality.
too, even a tornado, like, just say
Right.
something passes through,
Yeah.
people will be like, okay,
Right.
we need to go to the high school.
Right.
Whatever for that,
Right,
maybe
right.
it's for a
It's
cot
it's
or
our
for,
shelter
that
too.
should be the, yeah,
Right.
right, exactly. So I agree.
Yes, so, like, would be nice to involve different departments from the towns, who would would expect to help us during the emergency, and do something together. So we're all on the same page, because like I
That's a
said,
good idea.
fire has a plan,
Yeah.
police has a plan, we have a plan, but it has to be,
Yeah.
I
have one
agree.
plan.
One plan.
So two things. One is, the question to you is going to be, what role do EMTs play in this?
Mhm.
And my guess is that they need to be integrated, and because they have a lot of technical capacity, among
Sure.
other things.
So for H1N1 and for COVID, EMTs in Rhode Island were given special permission to do vaccinations if they weren't already. So paramedics can do vaccines on a day-to-day basis, but EMTBs couldn't. So that was a
EMTs can't?
EMTBs in Rhode Island. The EMT basic, so they don't usually do vaccines. So
No, I
that,
would think not usually. but-
not usually exactly, but in this event, they
Yeah.
can do it. Yeah,
Emergency,
as
yeah.
long as the director of health gives them the authority to do it.
And the second item was, you were talking high school.
Mhm.
I don't know whether you know it or not, but there's a gym attached to this building.
Yes,
Yes.
because this used to be a school.
This used to be a high school,
Mhm.
so there's a gym there, which is huge.
But because of the layout and parking space and the way you come and
Yes.
EDS was decided that was, the high school was the best location and the
Mhm.
layout was the best
It
for the
is, yeah.
big.
So I actually went to CDC for the specific train the trainer on mass antibiotic dispensing, and there's pros and cons of any site. No matter what, there's no perfect site. You always have to obviously do the risk-benefit analysis. And yes, this site has various features that are good. It's close to town, so there's a larger population that's within walking distance, for instance. That's a good thing. Parking, not so much. This high school's got a lot of parking spaces, but it's got, as far as I know, it's a one-way in, one-way out.
Mhm.
And I think that can be changed based on, is there a paper road that's attached to it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
All right. Regardless, there's always things that can be done to improve the process, and I'm happy to work with you guys to.
We're talking about the loading dock, has to
Right.
have a loading
Right.
dock for delivery, so there's
Yep.
like some requirements what needs to be, should to
Absolutely.
be met.
Okay, we all set? Okay, we move to myself, health agent, update. Well, the only thing I've had on my agenda this month was Jerry's Tasty Freeze.
Oh, did you go, you went there?
I went there on Sunday to check out the Tasty Freeze van at the Apple Orchard. Yeah, the Douglas Apple Orchard. And they have a nice little setup. It's they're very clean, very neat. 2 hand wash stations. And what else can I say? All their food was packaged properly, refrigerated properly, covered properly, nothing on the floor. So everything was good. That's about all I have. Do we have anything else on that? Wasn't there another inspection that Danielle went on?
There was a elementary school, but that's fine, I
Okay.
believe.
While she's thinking, let me ask a question.
Yep.
Do temporary facilities like that have to have a restroom nearby?
They don't have to, well, all
What was
all
at the orchard?
Yeah, it was at the Orchard.
Okay.
They probably, it's a good question, because they probably could have had a potty thing, you know, one of those.
Yeah.
They probably should have had maybe a couple of those, yeah.
I know
But
They
they
this
have
is-
probably do, they probably do at the orchard.
The orchard, they do have it at the orchard.
They do,
yes.
okay, yeah.
On the
I
side of
noticed there's one of
the,
those trucks over in Uxbridge,
Mm-hmm.
on the far side of Uxbridge, and I don't see any restroom facilities nearby, and yet if you go in a restaurant, they have to have water available.
A restaurant, yes.
And so I was wondering about, you know, these trucks.
If they're like, 'cause that one's permanently there, I think, is it the hot dog one? Is that what you're talking about?
It's bigger than a hot dog.
Like Hallmark, that one?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
the sausage.
See, they're not required to have all toilet facilities. They are required to have like hand washing type stations.
Okay.
Usually with restaurants and anything like that, it's up to 20, patrons. You know, if you go up to 20 patrons, you have to have men's and ladies, two restrooms, handicap maybe, you know, that type of thing. But these potty johns are really, they're very popular. You see them everywhere now. So that's what they're using mainly, but it's mainly for your hand washing, you know,
They have to have like
stations.
hot water. Do they have a hot?
Don't have to, as long as you have the hand wash station, you know. You don't have to have hot water, no. No, but you do have to have a location where if you leave here, if they leave, say they have their truck and they leave here and they go the other location, that's where they're supposed to have a wash station. At the, you know, to clean their van, clean their truck and everything. And the truck was very, very clean. I couldn't say any different. But, oh, Julie, making a mess, keep it up.
What are you trying to do, wake us up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about all I have for that. Any questions on that? No? It was a good question, Dick. Dick always has good questions.
Right
Sure.
over.
Has a good answers too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, any old business? Yes.
I just wanted to do a thing that I ran across. We collect used batteries here and stuff them in a box and send them off. The whole thing is no charge to the town. And then this one came up as it's called one drum. Instead of boxes that you put them in and put the batteries in a bag, you just buy this drum, and I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
And you put no bags for the batteries, just throw the batteries in, throw this, I'll call it a heat dissipator, for lack of a better name, on top of the batteries, and then put some more batteries, and it's like a lasagna, you lay it right
Yeah.
on a 55-gallon drum, which you buy
Oh, you buy
for
it.
$1,500, and you pay to ship it back. So I told the guy, I don't think we'll be going that route.
No, we won't be going that route.
Not with the others.
How you-
No.
Yeah.
When you say here, you mean here in the town hall?
It's here in the town hall, it's at the transfer station, it's at the adult social
It
center.
doesn't cost anything.
Free boxes in, free boxes out.
Yeah, yeah. Dick spearheaded that attack, too. He, yeah.
Well, get it out of the waste stream. Even though it's allowed in the waste stream, it doesn't belong there.
Okay.
All right, that's one.
Yep.
We are missing our vice chair. Do we want to create a temporary alternate vice chair in case you can't make it?
Yeah. I mean, is he, how long is he gonna be out, Corey?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is,
at
huh?
least a few weeks.
Yeah,
So,
we
I
could
mean, he may-
definitely do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd recommend myself, I would recommend you.
Well, I would recommend.
Well,
Dave
only
or-
because you've been here for the
I understand, but I don't want it.
well, you mentioned it, you opened your mouth, so that's it, you own it.
Remind me, please remind me.
There's nothing to it. There really isn't, I mean,
Well, why don't we pick the most experienced person here?
no, what I'm saying is you've been here, you know, you've been here for, if you don't want it, I'm not gonna force it on you, don't get me wrong.
Right now, I'm at my, I think it's called the Pimsel line. It's the line on a ship. It says, don't go below,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm right there. I'm
You know your
floating right
limits.
now.
Well, I wouldn't force it on you, by no means.
You want a motion to the effect?
Yeah, sure.
I moved we nominate Dave as the temporary alternate vice chair.
I just got here an hour ago.
Yeah.
Long enough.
55 minutes ago.
It's your second meeting, so you're good.
We need a second.
Well, unless I go down, there's nothing to it. Really,
Well, there's no second, so there's no vote.
Oh, good.
no vote.
And the third item on my agenda is the transfer station signage, which is required under the plan. He's going to do that, he told me this week,
Who's he?
the guy that I have make the signs.
Oh, yeah, okay,
And he'll have them, we're having 6 signs made,
yeah.
4 to go on the doors of the compactors,
Mhm.
and it says household trash only, blah, 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 blah. And then 1 on each sign as you go up the ramp, right in front of you, hang on the chain link fences.
Mhm.
2 on, 1 each,
Sounds good,
1 trash, 1 recycle.
sounds good.
And those should be done this week,
Okay,
and then we'll get hung.
great. I still go back to you, Dick, and if you want to take that chairmanship, you know, well, you had mentioned that obviously it's a concern, so.
Well, only if we can't have a meeting if you're not here at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, I mean,
If we had, you know, a
that's what I'm saying,
emergency
so
cesspool issue.
I'm sure, you know, Corey will be back, and when he does,
Oh, yeah.
so, yeah, well, if we can vote on that, you know,
Sounds like a temporary
Dave, would you,
situation.
It
be
is, you
willing
just
to?
had surgery.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's about like, you know, we have to have a backup just in case
Right,
something happens.
right.
So that was a good arrangement, I feel.
Yep.
You know.
Dave, if you're willing to make a motion on that,
Want me to remake the motion?
well,
It's for you.
it's for
Oh,
you.
for me?
Yeah, it's for
Jeez,
you.
we back there again?
I'd like to make a motion that Dick will be the vice chair
Temporary.
and a temporary and alternate in the event that you're not able to attend.
Great. We have a second on that.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, you are. And now we have a motion to adjourn.
Next meeting.
Next
Oh,
meeting.
that's, I always do that.
We usually have it on Mondays. Is Monday a good day for you guys?
Wednesday's usually good.
So the last Monday of November is the 28th,
Which would be the,
right after Thanksgiving.
so I don't think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
31st? No. And no.
One before that's the 21st.
21st, yeah. Would have to be the, I would think the what's Thanksgiving, 23rd?
24th.
24th?
And you moved it out to the 28th.
Well, it used to be we had it as the last Monday of the month,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why
And
don't,
it's after Thanksgiving seems reasonable.
you think so? I'd rather have it done before, no? Whatever, I don't care.
Actually, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
People are more busy before the holidays, and
I think
and I think that will be the week of the parents-teacher conferences at schools.
Oh, you know what, you're right,
Mm.
yeah,
Should be just before the Thanksgiving.
yeah.
So just in
That's
case
news
maybe.
to me, but doesn't mean I,
And some of them like in the evening.
So it'd be the 28th, is that what you're saying? 28th?
If that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like a ping pong ball. I didn't know where we were gonna end up.
6 p.m.
Yes.
Okay,
6 p.m.
this time I wrote it in
Yeah,
my
that
book.
works, yeah.
Okay.
You like a motion to adjourn?
I would,
You
yes.
got it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned.